summer, I took a trip with UNICEF to Senegal. Senegal is located in northwest Africa. Their official language is French, but their native, spoken language is Wolof. Senegal is a third world country, which means it is poor. Third world countries tend to have high rates of disease, illiteracy, population growth, and unstable governments. My impressions when I arrived were that it is the poorest place I have ever seen. There was garbage everywhere. The buildings were small and run down. The streets were practically dirt roads with beggars and street sellers. The modes of transportation were by horse, taxi, which were vans packed with people hanging out the doors, or an old car. On our first day, we learned about education in Senegal. Only 58% of children complete elementary school, and less than half Senegalese adults can read. Some of UNICEF's goals are to achieve universal schooling for children ages 7 to 12. We visited an elementary school aided by UNICEF. This was a good school because there were desks, supplies, and even separate latrines for boys and girls. This is important in keeping girls in school. The students learn about the importance of washing hands to stop the spread of diseases. We also liked that the school had posters showing the kids their rights. The kids really liked school and couldn't imagine anyone not liking it. American kids don't realize how important school is, and we take it for granted. Next, we visited Adara. Adara is a Muslim school where their children mostly learn the Quran and Arabic. The children slept in a classroom on a dirt floor. There were no beds, desks, chairs, no textbooks, and all the kids sat in one room. After school, the children are forced to beg on the streets during the day, and if they get any money, they have to give it back to the Dara. The smell was really awful. I couldn't stand it and had to leave. Children wore old, dirty clothes and had flies all around them. Their skin looked unhealthy. It made me feel sad to see all those kids away from their parents and treated so badly. Tens of thousands of kids live in the streets today in Senegal without proper nutrition, medical care, hygiene, or access to sanitation. UNICEF works to improve their living conditions and to teach them French. Second day, we went to a small health center. UNICEF works to help prevent common causes of illness for mothers and newborns. The health center is for medical problems like malaria and diseases caused from lack of sanitation. There is also a nursing program for newborns. They weigh babies and give them vaccinations. I got to hold a baby while it was getting a vaccination. I felt proud to help save a baby's life. The baby was squirmy and cried. I felt nervous and worried it was my fault. On our third day, we visited a village aided by Tostan. Tostan is a non-governmental organization dedicated to community-led development in Africa based on the people's own initiative. UNICEF is Tostan's #1 supporter. Tostan works in the most remote areas teaching life skills like hand washing, human rights like being nonviolent, and girls' rights, including stopping the practice of FGC. FGC is a dangerous ancient practice against girls, which needs to stop. 1/3 of the population in Senegal has quit this awful tradition thanks to Tostan. The village that we visited was one of Tostan's first to stop the tradition of FGC. The village was very cheerful and happy compared to the other villages we toured. In Wolof, Tostan means breakthrough and spreading and sharing. The best part about going on the trip was that I got to see how other kids live and how they survive through their hardships. Most of the kids were smiling, even though they wore ragged clothes, no shoes, and didn't have half of what I have. The funnest part of the trip was when my mom and I were sharing a room in a kind of creepy hotel with dirty sheets, and the room was freezing from the air conditioning that we couldn't stop. We laughed all night. I want you all to know that UNICEF is a hard-working organization who spends their money wisely. The people who work for UNICEF are so nice and dedicated. What would this world be like without people who help others?